Hello friends, I hope everybody's doing well. Today we will be working on this Honda powered Husqvarna mower. Um, I got this for free along with the Toro recycler about 2 or 3 months ago, but about a year ago the previous owner brought it into me with a no start problem, and it ended up being a dirty carburetor. So I did a video on the carburetor cleaning on this. Um, I don't know how far in detail I'm going to go with the carburetor cleaning, but I'll pin a link to that carburetor cleaning video down in the comments if anybody's interested in watching that. I may just do a full carb cleaning on camera again. I'm not really sure. So when he brought it in a year ago, like I said, I cleaned the carburetor and everything for him. I got it running pretty good. The problem was he let the machine sit for a little over a year without starting it up, and it was sitting outside. And when we got it back, I did make a video on the two cold starts, including the Toro recycler and this Husqvarna here. We had to give this Husqvarna a little help to get it started, and once I got it started, it was hunting and surging like crazy. So in the meantime, a couple of months ago, when I put the gas in it, I put some sea foam in it. I believe we tried to start it again, and it started on its own around the fourth or fifth pull, but then, like I said, it's surging. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start it up and see how it's doing today. I'm pretty sure, even if it's doing well because the sea foam was sitting in there, I'm still going to do a full carburetor cleaning on it again. The Toro recycler, in the last video, I got done preparing the machine, and about 2 days later that was sold, and I got the money I wanted to get for that. I was asking 125, but I really wanted to get 100. You could always work your way down in prices. So somebody offered me 80, then we settled on 100. So that machine's gone now. So let me see if I could get this thing to start up right now. We'll see what it's doing, and then we'll get it up on the table, and I'll start tearing it down, pull the carburetor off and everything, and then we'll go over all the basic stuff that you're going to want to do to resell it. We'll check the belt, we'll check the high adjusters. It's front wheel drive, this one here, and do all the things like I said that we need to do. I'll do a quick oil change on it too. With these Honda engines, they don't have a drain plug, so you have to suck the oil out. So I'll show you the setup that I have to do it. It's like a no mess setup. Alright, so let's get down to trying to get this thing to start. The fuel is turned on. It has an automatic choke on it, so you don't have to prime it. I'll see if we can get this thing to start up. Wow. What was that all about? Yeah, it's not starting. It's not going to start. We did turn the gas on, right? Yeah. I guess we'll begin by pulling the spark plug out and see what's going on in there. Like I said, we had to give it some help to start it up last time. Oh boy. There it goes, I think. Spark plug boot's pretty stuck on there. There we go. Alright, let me get the spark plug socket ready. We'll pull the plug off. Pull the plug out, I should say. Okay, so I'm using the 13/16 spark plug socket here. Plug looks pretty dry. Maybe I'll shoot some brake clean in there to get it to ignite. My spark plug socket, it's not holding the plug pretty good here. Must be worn out. Oh, gosh. I was wondering why it was so hard to pull on the first pull. It was acting like it was flooded or something, but let's give it another whirl. Yeah, it doesn't want to run at all hardly. So I guess we'll have to take the carburetor apart and see what's going on with it. It's probably the ethanol gas, since the guy never ran it, and he gave it to me a couple of months ago. The gas probably went bad again, the old gas. I'm pretty sure it didn't have any gas in it 2 months ago when we tried to start it. I did put some gas in it, and like I said, I added seafoam, and it would run, and it would surge like crazy, but let me get set up. I'll get the machine up on the table and pull the carburetor off. Okay, so everything's going to be 10 millimeter on this. So I'm going to begin by pulling the recoiler assembly off, so we have some more room here. I'm doing everything by hand here. Some of you may not have cordless drill or any means of using power tools. I'm wondering why that, like on the first pull, it was really hard to pull. Like the cylinder was loaded with gas. I don't know if any critters got up under here. I had this covered on my trailer. Outdoors here. So, I don't know, anything's possible, I guess. The recoiler came off first, and then this cover will just come right off here. What fell here? A stone. I don't see anything in here. We're gonna blow this all out, clean it all up anyway. This has two clips here. You just push it down, and then you can pull your air cleaner cover off. And the air filter, like we checked it last time, was really good condition, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Okay, so the air cleaner, air filter base here is held on by two 10mm. Yeah, you'll be using a 10mm socket to take this apart here. Compare it to some other Hondas. This carburetor is pretty easy to do. It's not hard at all. Oh, the whole stud came out. Oh yeah, no, I think these are bolts. I'm sorry, I thought they were nuts, but they're bolts that hold the carburetor assembly on. I don't know if I forgot to hook up the ventilation tube last time, or it just came off that easy. But this is the like your PCV system, crankcase ventilation, and you'll see where it goes on into the base here. So you want to make sure you hook that up. I might have forgot to hook it up last time. I don't know, or it just came off really easy. So. Okay, so this is going to be the hard part for me because some of you know what's going on with my eyes. And this has one of those wire fuel line clamps, which I can't stand. This machine's pretty dirty. Needs a really good cleaning too. See if I can just pull this hose off without undoing that. Sometimes you can. Well, anyway, ooh. I tried to get it off with a needle nose. Maybe I could pull this thing off here. Pull the fuel line off without destroying it. I don't have any of this fuel line. It's smaller than a 1/4 inch, that I know. And I know I don't have any. Try to get this clamp off here without mangling it too bad. Alright, I got it. Fuel line's coming off little by little here. Okay, we got it. Okay, so you're gonna have a Z-bend here. You're just gonna want to lift that. And I don't know what I got on my start. Okay, you'll see a bigger hole in the carburetor here, and that's for the Z-bend. And then you'll see a smaller hole, and that's for the spring. Okay, so we got the carburetor off. I'll get the machine off the table here, and I'll get set up. We'll take this carburetor apart. So I'll be back to you shortly. Okay, so we're ready to take the carburetor apart. Okay, so on top of the carburetor here, you'll see a screw. It's like a screw here. It's a Phillips head. You have to take that out, and that's a idle jet passage. You want to make sure that's clean. And on some of these, you would have to take the base idle screw out and then there's a plastic jet that you have to pop out that has O-rings on it. You want to make sure that's clean. This is a different type here. This just has the Phillips head that you want to take out. And then I already loosened the bowl bolt here. I loosened that already, because sometimes on camera it's really hard to get that stuff apart. So I'm going to begin by taking that idle jet screw, Phillips head screw out. We'll do that first. I already loosened it. I had it apart already, so I didn't go crazy tightening it when I put it back together last year when we first cleaned this carburetor. Where'd that go? There it is. That's all it is right there. We'll take that out. Now we'll take the ball bolt out. I want to kind of hold the bowl so we can see what kind of gas was in it, but I tilted it already. Then you just want to give the bowl a little tap with the plastic part of your screwdriver here. This carburetor doesn't look that great inside. I'm going to have to try to clean this out the best I could. I don't have an ultra sound cleaning system here. Alright, so I just took the bowl pin out. The float pin, I'm sorry. I took the float pin out. We'll pull this whole thing off here. There's the needle and seat assembly here. This carburetor looks pretty awful here. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to take the emulsion tube out here. Is this removable? I thought it was on this one. I might have to go look back at my own video. I still can't see that well, so having a little trouble here. Oh yeah, all right. Okay, so I have this screwdriver set here that, like a regular screwdriver, has a shoulder, and it's hard to get into the. I might have to come back to you on this. I'll get this. I'll get the jet out, and we'll get the emulsion tube out. I might have to use a smaller bit on the screwdriver. I'm not really sure here. I don't know what the story is here right now, and I'll get back to you as soon as I figure that out. Okay, so I had to use a bigger bit. I'm pretty sure I got it to loosen up pretty good. Like I said, when I had this carburetor apart, I didn't go crazy tightening everything up like a madman here. You just want to snug everything up. It's taking me a little longer than usual. I'm going for, some of you know what's going on with my eyes, so I'm going for cataract surgery on August 1st for my right eye, the one that had the infection, and I'm hoping that that works out pretty good. This new doctor I have is pretty good. He's been treating my left eye with the injections. Okay, so here's the jet. I want to see if I can see. I don't know, kind of looks a little clogged to me. Maybe you could tell on camera better. But we're going to clean everything out anyway. Now I have to try to get the emulsion tube out. Hopefully that just falls right out. What is this, a stone or a... Sometimes if you just give it a tap with the plastic part of the screwdriver and the emulsion tube will pop right out. Not in all cases. Sometimes if you stick the torch tip cleaner in there, you can grab a hold of it and pull it out. So I'm going to have to go in and get my torch tip cleaning system there. Okay, so I tried for about 20 minutes now to try to get the emulsion tube out. But I was able to stick the biggest torch tip cleaner I got in through the bottom here, which it was pretty hard to pass it through here. I was trying to grab it to get it out. I can't see into the carburetor. You could actually stick a screwdriver in there and push it down through. So, like I said before, I pinned the video on the thorough carburetor cleaning on this particular carburetor here. So if you want to just resort back and watch that video, like I'm going to too. I want to see if that was removable or not. I don't know. I really can't tell. But in the meantime, I sprayed down into the idle jet here after I took that Phillips head cover out. I sprayed down in there. I sprayed into the biggest part here, and that'll clean pretty much all the ports in there, and everything's running pretty good here. So okay, so the fuel intake, I'm going to spray some through there too. Make sure everything's clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to assemble it off camera. I'll put everything back together. I'll clean off the float. I'll clean off the bowl. Clean out the bowl rather. And I'll put it back together and we'll see if we can get this thing to fire up now. And then we'll warm it up. You always want to warm your engine up to change the oil. And I'll show you, how to change the oil, how I change the oil without making a mess. So I'll be back in a couple of seconds. Okay, so the main jet here was definitely clogged. I could feel the torch tip cleaner pushing some dirt through. So I'll take some brake clean that real good too. So it did have a clogged main jet here. Where am I? Here I am. Just give it a real good cleaning. If I could just stop stabbing myself in the finger with the torch tip cleaner. Alright, so let me get this thing back together. I'm going to drain that gas that we put in a couple of months ago. I'm going to drain that all out. We'll put fresh gas in it too. So it took me forever to get the float and the needle back on. Like I have no business taking this stuff apart right now with the way my eyes are. Anyway, what I did was I usually buy like Great Value. It's a cheap version glass cleaner from Walmart. So what I did was I cleaned the whole machine off with that, and then I hit it with WD-40, and it came out really nice here. I did the back cover here, even in here. This machine's really clean. I don't think it has many hours on it. And also this side here I did. It shined up really good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to start this thing up and see if the carburetor cleaning worked out. That carburetor's pretty cruddy. It's pretty bad. So I tried to clean it the best I could. I wire brushed the float and I wire brushed the bowl. I don't have an ultrasonic cleaner. That would have helped out a great deal. What I'm going to do is we'll see if this thing starts up. And then tomorrow morning, which will be 2 seconds for you, we'll give it a cold start and I'll let it run and then we'll change the oil. Like I said, always warm up your engine before you change the oil if you can. If you get a mower where it was dumping a lot of fuel into the crankcase, just drain the oil. You don't want to run it like that. So, alright, so let me get the machine back on the ground and we'll start it up. I'm going to review that video of the thorough carb cleaning on this machine here that I'm going to pin in the comments. And I want to see about the emulsion tube. I could not get that out. I couldn't see. And when I opened up the flat, usually the emulsion tube, a piece of it sticks up and then you could push it down. I couldn't see anything going on up there. I tried to do it with the screwdriver, but I just cleaned, the main jet. You could probably see that it was clogged right on camera here. And I think that was most of the problem with it. And I'll be back in 2 seconds. I drained out the gas tank, put fresh gas in, put a little bit of seafoam in it. Let's see if it starts. Pretty much awful. Might have to get a new carburetor for it. Did I even turn the gas back on? Yeah, I did. Yeah, this is not good here. I don't know what we're going to do here. I don't know. I just don't know. Let me try to figure something out here and I'll be right back. Alright, so I took a screwdriver and opened up the choke some. I mean, we didn't run it long enough for the choke to come off, so I don't know if it's flooding out or what. I'm not really sure. I'm going to let it run. If we get it started, I'll let it run a few minutes and make sure that choke comes off. I don't think that's the problem. I think our best bet is to get a new carburetor for it. Maybe it's all in that emulsion tube. I'll go back and watch that video I made last year and see what's going on. And then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I watched my video. That emulsion tube has to come out. So I'll see you on part 2. I guess we're gonna end it here for now, and I'll see you on the next one. And thanks for watching. Take care.